Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at both charts. Obviously, everything in the red today, given what's happening in the world, and of course, it's basically a sad day. But I'm not getting into politics here. We are here to look at the charts, and we're gonna get through this, in our usual calm way. This, obviously, from a price point of view, at least, is what we expected for a few months now, 3 months, 4 months now, to take place. And we are finally getting into the price regions that we expected. I mean, many altcoins already reached these target areas. They're currently going into the direction of the lower ranges of these target areas. Cardano also on its way into the target area, and Bitcoin as well. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart first. For everybody who's new on the channel, my view on the Bitcoin chart is that we had a wave 1 here in April, have an A, B, C correction play out now. We are in the wave C, and we're going to zoom in a second just to take a look of where we are in detail. But we had this head and shoulders pattern here that was triggered and broke down, was retested from the downside. We talked about it back then. Since then, we have been selling off further. That was expected as well. But what also could be, I get a few questions. Could this here, what I have labeled as a wave A, could this have been a wave 4, basically, so that you have this as a wave 3, that this was a wave 4, this would have been a wave 5, okay, the wave B, where then what we're currently doing might only currently be the wave A, right? Well, I don't think it is what it is, but theoretically you could say, okay, we're currently only doing the wave A. You'll get another wave B and another wave C to the downside. That would push us to much lower levels than I indicated originally. I don't think it is the case here. I don't have any reason to believe that, but it is a possibility. So far, I go with my primary expectation here, and so far we can see that the price is selling off in an impulsive way. That is what I missed in the last few days, because what we could see here on the chart, this first move down, move up, move down, that was not really looking impulsive, and this is now starting to look impulsive, right? Similar to what we did here end of January, around the 20th of January. That looked impulsive when you get these whoosh, price moves down, and this is what we're currently doing. So for me, it is still possible that the wave 4 is not in yet, so we come up once more to a wave 4 top. But at the moment, it is looking for me more likely that we are heading here further down. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern that I've indicated here on the chart, that is only invalidated if we break above 41.5K. Okay, so we are currently at 35.3, so quite far away from that. And the 35 level is what I mentioned in the previous video. You can see how the price found support in this pattern that we identified, the broadening descending wedge. We had a bit of a breakout here to the upside. That was yesterday. As it often happens when such a breakout happens, then you can get a rejection, then it goes just back in and goes the other way out of the pattern. So basically a fake out here. It did retest that resistance level up here, and then failed. Now, was this already the wave 4? Possible. We can't say it for sure. We could still be in a wave 3 here, and the wave 4 might still be coming. So but the direction of everything here is still pointing further to the downside for me. There is no other way. We are still in a correction. That is what we expected. Of course, accelerated by the sad things that are happening currently in the world. But again, this is not about that. On this channel, we are looking at the charts, and it had a bit of an effect on the chart, certainly. But in my view, it's only accelerating what would have happened anyway. We're already in a correction, and then if you're already in a scenario, in a correction, then external influences that not necessarily have been priced in yet, they have a strong effect, okay? And this is what we are seeing here at the moment. What I also just want to point out here, that now obviously we reached here the 35K level, but if we zoom in, you can see that there is not really any strong reaction to that support level. So I would expect lower prices. I mean, maybe when the US markets open, could be another drop, right? We can see at the moment the stock market's crashing as well, which is normally happening when you have something like this happening in the world. So there are these initial drops, but when these drops are over, we had it oftentimes in the past, then you get fast V-shaped recoveries. For me, that drop is not over at all, so it might only be the beginning now due to the conflict and the escalation of it. It might only the beginning. So as soon as you drop here below the 34.5k level, that will be here the support level of that descending broadening wedge, then you're going to see the next support, which would be at 33k, just slightly below 33, and I think we're going to lose that as well, maybe after another wave 4 or something like that. It's hard to say, these are the micro movements. Overall, I'm very confident now that we are in this wave 5 to the downside. Where exactly in the wave 5 we are is pretty much not possible to say. We can only make assumptions here at the moment, and the way this is currently selling off, it could be that we are still in the wave 3 because it is very impulsive coming down here, and I'm only waiting for the next move down, to be honest. Yeah, looking at ADA here as well, still in this descending channel, further moving towards the target area. Hasn't really moved down a lot since my last video this morning, around the 75-76 cent area. And to be honest, who would have thought that we're ever gonna get into this area? I mean, we obviously had the 55 to 30 cent level on the chart here, that yellow target area. But yeah, Cardano is one that I would not have expected to go down that low in November. I mean, with Bitcoin, we're talking about it. A lot of other altcoins, we talked about it. For ADA, originally we had another target area on the chart. Now that was reached, but even that was back then for many people too bearish. But even that was just smashed to the downside, and we are now here looking at this alternative target area, which I now expect we are going to reach. We've been talking about this one now for several weeks, and we're heading further into that direction. Between 55 and 30 cents. Looking at the indicators here, I mean, we are now pretty much sold out, so there isn't oversold. So the question is, you can't really drop that much more. My same story for Bitcoin. It probably just needs to consolidate now a little bit, but in times like these, anything is possible. There's no reason why we couldn't drop another 10% if any crazy news message comes across. And as I usually say that markets, a lot of news, a lot of things and expectations are already priced into the charts. But yeah, if you are already in a correction and then you get news like that, which really are surprising, then it can push a market into a direction. Yeah, and that can then trigger alternative scenarios. But we are here in this scenario already correcting and selling out. We were on the way already to the target areas here for Bitcoin and Cardano. And then if you have such a negative macro event or geopolitical event happening, then this can just accelerate all of it, right? Bitcoin as well, if I take a look at the indicator on the 1-day chart, it's not that much oversold as Cardano, for example. So Bitcoin is here not yet in the oversold area strictly. It's at 33 on the RSI, whereas Cardano is currently already below 30. It's actually already at 26, 27. And like a lot of other altcoins, it's selling up double digits here, selling out double digits, over 10% lost in the last 24 hours. And yeah, here, even if you see a little bit of a retracement to the upside, I think we're now going to head in this target area, 55 to 30 cents. There isn't really any major support, at least I can't see it. There is not really any major support here. There is one at, is it a major support? It's just a wick to the downside at 69 cents from previously here. So I'm not sure how much support that is going to give, possibly a little bit. So other than that, you can see how the price did move up here in February 21. There is not really a lot in terms of support and resistance along the way. There were not really any ups or downs that could now support the price. Okay, therefore we are selling up quite quickly now here in Cardano, on the Cardano chart. Yeah, and that's my view here on Bitcoin and Cardano at the moment. Quite a sad day actually, but nevertheless the prices are moving in the direction that we've been talking about for months, and it's good to see that we are getting closer, because the more we are moving down, the faster we are getting to a completion of this correction, right? And I see this possibly, when this conflict hopefully comes to an end, doesn't escalate further, that you could then see a fairly swift recovery. But before that, we need to get into the target areas for Cardano and for Bitcoin as well. As I said, for many other cryptos, they have already reached them. Yeah, that's my view here, Bitcoin and Cardano. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, maybe check out the channel membership. You can join as a member on my website for which you can find a link in the description, and they can get access to the Telegram live chat Discord server with a lot of additional content and also a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.